Imagine 1,000 red-hot needles suddenly plunging into your joint, typically your big toe. Sound familiar? That sudden, agonizing pain is the signature of a gout attack. But what if I told you the key to overcoming these flare-ups lies not just in your medicine cabinet, but also on your plate? Today we're doing more than just discussing diet. We're going to put together a complete nutrition guide that will help you take control of your gout. And I promise, you'll discover some surprising facts about foods you might have wrongly demonized. Gout wasn't called the disease of kings for nothing. In the past, it primarily affected the wealthy, those who could afford abundant meat, game, and wine. But today, this royal affliction can strike anyone. It all comes down to purines. These are compounds found in our food. When they break down in the body, they produce uric acid. When there's too much of it, it forms sharp crystals that attack our joints. So, our goal is to learn how to manage these purine levels through our diet. All right, let's chart our culinary journey. We're going to begin with what I call the red zone. Picture a minefield. Every item on this list is a potential landmine, a trigger for excruciating joint pain. These are the primary culprits that set off a cascade of events, culminating in an agonizing flare-up. Their ultimate goal is to dramatically elevate uric acid levels in your blood. The first and most notorious enemy in this zone is red meat. Yes, we're talking about that juicy steak, that delicious barbecue, or even your favorite homemade meatballs. Beef, pork, lamb, and game meats, they're all loaded with purines. When you consume these, your body gets a powerful shot of the raw ingredients needed to produce uric acid. And if your body's system for flushing it out can't keep up, this acid morphs into those dreaded needle-like crystals. Watch out, too, for rich, concentrated meat broths and gravies. Even if you skip the meat itself, these concentrated liquids can be a potent trigger for a flare-up. If red meat is merely a formidable opponent, then organ meats are the true supervillain in our story. If you're serious about living pain-free, then these foods should be completely and unequivocally eliminated from your diet. I'm talking about liver, kidneys, brains, tongue, and all sorts of pâté derived from them. Picture these organs as the animal's internal processing factories. It's precisely in them that purine concentrations reach their absolute peak. These aren't just foods. They're veritable purine time bombs. Just one small serving of liver pâté can contain enough purines to trigger an attack within the next 24 hours. So, when you spot these delicacies on a menu or a store shelf, consider it the ultimate red flag. This isn't a situation where you can afford to have just a little bit. Simply cross them off your shopping list. No regrets. Next up, we're looking at some types of seafood. Many people consider them a healthy alternative to meat, and for the most part, that's true. However, for someone living with gout, there's a significant caveat. These ocean delights can be quite tricky. You should be especially cautious with anchovies, sardines, mussels, and herring. We can also add sprats and scallops to this list. These small marine dwellers are absolute purine powerhouses. Just imagine, a single small can of these could contain enough purines to trigger an inflammatory attack in your joint. So, be wary of that classic Caesar salad with anchovies, or traditional open-faced sandwiches with sprats. This isn't to say you should avoid all fish entirely, but these particular types are best eliminated from your diet, or at least reduced to an absolute minimum reserved only for very rare occasions. Now let's talk about what we drink. Indeed, what we drink plays just as significant a role in our uric acid levels as what we eat. The main offender here is beer. It's arguably the single worst beverage choice for anyone suffering from gout. And it's not solely about the alcohol, though it certainly plays a role by slowing down the kidney's ability to excrete uric acid. The real danger in beer, however, lies in its composition. Beer is brewed using yeast, and yeast is one of nature's richest sources of purines. Essentially, a single pint of beer delivers a double blow: alcohol, which hinders your body's natural cleansing process, and a massive serving of purines that immediately convert into uric acid. Therefore, the golden rule for anyone with gout is a complete and utter ban on beer, even the non-alcoholic kind, because it still contains yeast. Sweet sodas and juices also make a significant, though often underestimated, contribution to the development of gout. Many people think there's no meat in it, so where's the problem going to come from? This, however, is a dangerous misconception. The main culprit here is fructose, especially in the form of high-fructose corn syrup, which manufacturers generously add to these beverages. Fructose acts in a very sneaky way. It doesn't contain purines itself, but once it enters our body, it works like a catalyst. Imagine it pressing the accelerator pedal on the production of uric acid. It forces our cells to break down existing purines more quickly. As a result, blood uric acid levels can spike just as sharply as they would after a meat-heavy meal. So, a glass of cola, a bottled iced tea, or even a seemingly harmless carton of juice can easily become a trigger for a new gout attack. But enough about the negatives. Let's shift our focus to the green light foods, the ones that will become your best friends and staunchest allies in your fight against gout. This is where the game totally changes. Instead of constantly worrying about what to avoid, we'll now actively incorporate what genuinely helps us into our diet. And your most important ally, your knight in shining armor, is water. Simple, pure water. It might sound too straightforward to be true, but it's actually the most effective and readily available tool for preventing gout attacks. Think of your kidneys like a filter. For that filter to work properly and thoroughly flush your system, it needs fluid. Water dilutes the concentration of uric acid in your blood and helps your kidneys efficiently remove any excess from your body. Aim to drink at least 8 glasses a day. This is your #1 weapon, always accessible and completely free. Always keep a water bottle close at hand. Cherries are truly a superstar when it comes to combating gout, often considered the most delicious remedy. This isn't just folk wisdom. It's a fact confirmed by extensive scientific research. Fresh or frozen, and even in the form of unsweetened concentrated cherry juice, they work absolute wonders. Cherries contain unique compounds called anthocyanins. These are the very pigments that give cherries their vibrant, deep red hue, and they're packed with powerful anti-inflammatory properties. In essence, they act as natural blockers for the enzymes that trigger inflammation in the joints. What's more, studies consistently show that regular cherry consumption helps lower uric acid levels in the blood. Just a daily handful of these berries, or a glass of natural cherry juice, can significantly lower your risk of future gout flare-ups. It's a perfect example of how something so incredibly beneficial can also be wonderfully delicious. Foods packed with vitamin C are also incredibly beneficial. This hard-working vitamin supports our body on multiple fronts. Not only does it boost immunity, but it also directly influences uric acid levels. The way it works is both simple and elegant. Vitamin C helps your kidneys more effectively flush uric acid from your bloodstream. Think of it as opening an extra pathway or sluice in your body's natural cleansing system. So, go ahead and add citrus fruits, oranges, grapefruits, and lemons to your diet. And don't overlook bell peppers, especially red ones, which are true vitamin C powerhouses. Strawberries, kiwi, and blackcurrants are all fantastic additions to your daily meals. Just a quick word of caution. If you're on certain medications, be careful with grapefruit, as it can affect how your body absorbs them. Here's a surprising fact for many. For a long time, a common myth in gout diets was that all dairy products were dangerous. However, modern research has completely debunked this notion. It turns out that low-fat milk, yogurt, and cottage cheese are not only safe, but incredibly beneficial. The secret lies in two key components found in milk, casein and orotic acid. These substances have what's known as a uricosuric effect. In simpler terms, they stimulate your kidneys to more actively excrete uric acid from your body. So, a daily glass of kefir or a serving of natural yogurt could be an excellent preventative measure. It's crucial to remember to choose low-fat or skim dairy products. Whole milk, with its higher fat content, doesn't provide the same significant effect. This is a perfect illustration of how scientific advancements help us challenge and revise outdated dietary advice. Believe it or not, coffee is another unexpected ally in our fight. Yes, you heard that right. That very beverage, often labeled unhealthy, could surprisingly be a valuable friend when it comes to gout. Numerous large-scale studies have revealed an intriguing pattern. Individuals who regularly consume coffee tend to experience fewer gout flare-ups. Scientists hypothesize that several mechanisms are at work. Firstly, caffeine itself may compete with enzymes involved in uric acid production, effectively slowing down this process. Secondly, other compounds found in coffee, like chlorogenic acid, are potent antioxidants that can help speed up the removal of uric acid from your system. We're talking about moderate consumption here, roughly 2 to 3 cups a day. And naturally, this means black coffee, free from sugar and heavy creams. So your morning cup of coffee isn't just a cherished ritual. It's also a smart part of your gout management strategy. Now let's address a controversial topic that often causes a lot of questions and confusion. We're talking about vegetables with a moderate purine content. For a long time, foods like spinach, asparagus, mushrooms, cauliflower, and legumes were considered gray area foods, or even ended up on lists of strictly prohibited items. Patients were often advised to avoid them, much like red meat. However, recent scientific findings have completely changed this perspective. It turns out that plant-based purines behave quite differently in our bodies compared to animal-based purines. They have virtually no impact on uric acid levels and do not increase the risk of gout attacks. Furthermore, the extensive benefits these vegetables offer, fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants, far outweigh any potential perceived risk. So don't hesitate to add spinach to your salad, prepare a hearty lentil soup, or enjoy an omelette with mushrooms. These are healthy, safe, and valuable foods that absolutely should be part of your regular diet. Complex carbohydrates should form the foundation of your diet. They are your primary source of sustained energy and overall stability. You'll want to cut out white bread, sugary pastries, white rice, and refined sweets. These foods cause sharp spikes in your blood sugar and insulin levels, which can indirectly hinder your body's ability to excrete uric acid effectively. Instead, opt for whole grain bread, brown or wild rice, oatmeal, buckwheat, and quinoa. What makes these foods so beneficial? They're slowly digested, providing a sustained feeling of fullness and stable energy levels throughout the day. Crucially, they are rich in dietary fiber. Dietary fiber, in turn, helps to bind and eliminate excess harmful substances from your body, including purines, via the digestive system. This significantly reduces the load on your kidneys. Therefore, a bowl of oatmeal for breakfast or a serving of buckwheat as a side dish isn't just food, it's a vital component of your treatment strategy. Don't overlook healthy fats. In the pursuit of fat-free products, many people make the mistake of completely eliminating fats from their diet. But this approach is misguided. Fats are absolutely essential for our bodies, and for those managing gout, the right kinds of fats can be incredibly beneficial. Your best allies are monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, known for their powerful anti-inflammatory properties. They help reduce overall inflammation throughout the body, including in your joints. The primary source of these beneficial fats is extra virgin olive oil. Drizzle it over salads and incorporate it into your finished dishes. Other excellent sources include nuts, like walnuts and almonds, seeds such as flax and chia, and avocados. Conversely, it's wise to steer clear of saturated fats, which are commonly found in fatty meats, butter, and fast food. These, on the other hand, can actually intensify inflammatory processes. It's not just the product itself that matters, but also how it's prepared. You might choose a perfectly healthy item, like chicken breast, but if you cook it incorrectly, you could turn it into a potential health hazard. The golden rule here is to avoid frying and deep frying. High temperatures and excessive oil don't just add unnecessary calories. They can also contribute to inflammation in the body. Instead, opt for gentler cooking methods: boiling, steaming, stewing, and baking. These methods help retain the maximum amount of beneficial nutrients in your food. There's also a helpful tip to consider. When you boil meat or fish, a significant portion of purines transfers into the broth. So, if you suffer from gout, it's best to avoid rich meat or fish broths and soups. However, boiled meat, especially if you discard the first broth, will contain significantly fewer purines and be much safer for your joints. There's even a specific diet that's perfect for people with gout, even though it was originally developed for entirely different purposes. It's called the DASH diet. DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, and it was initially designed for individuals with high blood pressure. But scientists noticed a surprising side effect. People who followed this diet significantly lowered their uric acid levels. So, why is it so effective? The answer is quite simple. The DASH diet's principles align almost perfectly with recommendations for managing gout. It emphasizes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and low-fat dairy products. At the same time, it restricts the consumption of red meat, sweets, and saturated fats. Essentially, it's not about strict prohibitions, but rather a balanced and healthy eating plan that's easy to maintain for life. Beyond diet, managing your weight is incredibly important. Excess weight isn't just an aesthetic concern. For someone with gout, it's a significant risk factor that impacts you in two key ways. Firstly, excess weight places a purely mechanical, additional strain on your joints, particularly those in your legs, which are often the primary targets of gout attacks. This wear and tear makes them more vulnerable. Secondly, and perhaps even more critically, adipose tissue, or body fat, isn't just a passive energy reserve. It's metabolically active and directly contributes to increased uric acid production in the body. This creates a vicious cycle. The more you weigh, the more uric acid your body produces, and the higher your risk of debilitating attacks. Therefore, gradual and healthy weight loss, achieved through proper nutrition and increased physical activity, is one of the most powerful steps you can take to effectively manage and fight gout. Physical activity plays a huge role too, and its importance is often overlooked, with many people focusing solely on diet. Regular exercise helps address several key issues at once. Firstly, it's the most effective way to maintain a healthy weight or shed those extra pounds, the dangers of which we've just discussed. Secondly, physical activity boosts overall metabolism, helping your body more efficiently process and eliminate waste products, including uric acid. And thirdly, exercise strengthens the muscles surrounding your joints, effectively creating a supportive corset that reduces strain and pressure on them. It's crucial to choose the right type of activity. During an acute flare-up, rest is essential. However, during remission, activities like swimming, yoga, Pilates, and Nordic walking are ideal. Anything that doesn't put high-impact stress on affected joints. It's crucial to remember the importance of a holistic approach. While diet is a powerful tool, it's not a magic bullet. The best and most sustainable results are achieved when you work on all fronts simultaneously. Imagine you're building a fortress to protect your joints. Diet forms the strong walls. Weight management and physical activity are the sturdy foundation. Sufficient water intake is the moat, keeping invaders at bay. And regular consultations with your doctor, along with taking any prescribed medications when necessary, are your vigilant sentinels on the watchtowers. Remove even one of these elements, and your defense will weaken. Only a comprehensive approach, where diet combines with a proper lifestyle, can empower you to control gout, rather than letting it control you. And finally, but perhaps the most crucial element in our strategy, is planning. Chaos and spontaneity are the arch-enemies of any diet. If you come home tired and hungry to an empty fridge, you'll instinctively reach for your phone to order pizza or grab some unhealthy takeout on the way. This is a direct route to derailing your efforts and possibly triggering an eating episode. The key to long-term success lies in meal planning a week in advance. Dedicate just 30 minutes on a weekend to map out your breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Create a shopping list and stock up on all the healthy ingredients you'll need. With all the ingredients for a nutritious meal at your fingertips, the urge for junk food significantly drops. You eliminate the daily what to cook dilemma and turn healthy eating from a struggle into a comfortable, predictable routine. This small-time investment will pay off immensely in your improved health and well-being. But here's the biggest game changer. For years, living with gout often felt like a life sentence to a bland, restrictive diet of boiled vegetables. Yet one of the most surprising revelations of recent years is that such strict limitations aren't always necessary. It turns out that plant-based purines, found in things like spinach or legumes, have virtually no impact on the risk of gout attacks. This completely changes the rules. You don't have to give up your favorite salad or lentil soup. Your real adversaries are animal-based purines and fructose. Once you grasp this, you can build a diverse and delicious diet without fear of triggering pain. Another truly surprising fact is the power of cherries. The idea that a handful of berries or a glass of unsweetened cherry juice can be as effective as some anti-inflammatory medications sounds almost magical. But it's a scientifically proven fact. This simple fruit could be your secret weapon. So, let's summarize. Managing gout isn't about starvation. It's about a smart approach to nutrition. Drink plenty of water, steer clear of red meat, organ meats, and beer. Load up on vegetables, cherries, and low-fat dairy. And remember, you are in control. Your plate is your most powerful tool for a pain-free life. Thanks for watching this video to the end. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our new health guides. Now a question for you. What foods specifically trigger your gout attacks? Or perhaps you have your own secret savior food that helps you manage the pain. Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's help each other out.